Okay. So we all have something in common. We want a new society where we are in balance with nature, where kindness is rewarded, and where there is opportunity, equal opportunity for all. Yeah, I want the same thing too. But how do we make it happen? As Michael pointed out, how do we cross the chasm? Here we have a room full of innovators, but outside, how can we really put it out there so that everyone will buy into it, that there's no more need for money. Now's the part that I can introduce myself. My name is Rowena. I'm a mechanical engineer, but for most of my life, I worked in consumer marketing. And my specialty is overriding the thinking brain of the woman so that she can buy more. Yeah? So I'm partly to blame why we have 50 shades of Viva Glam lipstick. But I only did it for money, and unfortunately, I did it very well. But there's one good thing that came out of it. I know that the strategies that I use to make the women buy more can also be used to make women buy less. So the strategies of consumerism, this is what the insight that I would like to give to you. It's a little blinding, but I'm sorry, so I couldn't look at the people at the center. So let me start with a story. Yeah. A few years ago, I was faced with a deadline. Yeah? It was a very important deadline. I'm just a few hours away. So what did I do? I did what any normal person would do. I browsed the internet. And I found this very interesting tweet. If you line up all your ex-lovers in a row, you can see the flow chart of your mental illness. So, I still have time to waste, so I said, let me prove this thing. So let me line up my ex-boyfriends and see my history of mental illness. Yeah. The thing is, I deleted already all our photos, his photos. I blocked him on Facebook. And so I also blocked his first 6 friends. So I don't have access to his photos. What I did instead was I put in photos, a line of my photos, while I was dating that boyfriend. You still following me? So do you want to see how I look like while I was dating which boyfriend? This first one, I was dating a fantastically boring guy. Yeah, but the thing is, I could not escape from him. It's like fatal attraction. I stayed with him for 13 years. So what I would do on Friday evening, I would just go in the club, hang out with my rock star friends, and just dance my exasperation away. Eventually, I was able to dump him. I had a botched, faking my own death, which didn't work. And what happened was I just left the country. So here I am. He's lost your game. Second one, I don't know if you can guess, but it was a mini affair. Oh, by the way, there are only 3 ex-boyfriends, yeah? You know why? Every woman knows why. Any self-respecting woman knows that 3 ex-boyfriends is the maximum allowed. You should tell your current boyfriend before him going mental. So the second one was a mini liaison with a Ferrari driving corporate lawyer. It explains, yeah? The third one, I was dating a how should I describe him? I was dating a martial arts black belter who was 20 years younger than me. I was addicted to Red Bull. Yay! So, what's the point of my story? It's all very entertaining. What's the point? The point is, consumerism is a lifestyle that we're used to. And like all lifestyles, it's affected a function of your partner. That's the engineering part. I mean, it's affected by the partner that you're with. So, as illustrated, and it's a fact that is echoed with the law of attraction. If any one of you is familiar with law of attraction, and if you know couples who have been together for so long, they start looking like each other. Yeah? So if we were a girl and we were dating consumerism, what would it look like? What do you think? That's how we are right now. So if consumerism is a mindset, yeah, and we could, just get rid of it, how do we get rid of it? Okay. First, I will go to my second point, and then I'll come back to that. The second point is consumerism. The main pillar of consumerism is women. Yeah. If you Google how much percent of purchases are decided by a woman, you'll come across this study of Yankello Vish Monitor and Winfield Online, where it says 85% of purchases are decided by women. 50% are decided by men who want to get laid by women. But of course, you have to deduct 5% of psychopaths and sociopaths who just don't care less. So if we want to sell this mindset to everyone, we have to sell it to women. That's how important they are. Now, okay, if we are going to now leave consumerism, how are we going to do it? Now, I'm going to make a very bold statement here. When it comes to dumping men, dumping lovers, and moving on, women are better than men. Yeah? And I'll prove my point. Oh, without women, all the money in the world means nothing. The slide got changed. So this is how a woman moves on. Yeah? There are 7 stages. Here's awareness. She finds a bra stuck between the bed headboard and the bed, which the guy, of course, will deny knowing whose it is, how it got there. She will get angry, post it on social media. And then third, she will meet with the girlfriends. Oh, is he worth keeping? Should we dump him? What are we going to do? And then finally, she decides, I'm going to dump that guy. Sadness ensues. That's when she will stop washing her hair, consume massive amounts of Netflix series, and stuffing her face with fried chicken. Yeah. Then there's hope. After a while, she will go out, and she will wash her hair, and then she will get the girls together. She will go to the pub and find her rebound guy so that she could make that one piece of separation away from the former boyfriend. Then after reconstruction, finally, she's ready to move on, find Mr. Right or the next Mr. Wrong. So how do men do it now? When men break up, nothing, there's no reaction, nothing. Until 6 months later, at 2 in the morning, you receive a drunken phone call, calling you, you're a bitch, you destroyed my life, I so regret meeting you, but if you want to get together again, I would really like that. I miss the scent of your hair. So, is it true? Are you guilty? Do you do that? Okay. So my point is, if you want a great idea and you want it to be adapted to the masses, if you want to change the mindset of a person, a woman, a person, you have to power it with emotion. Women who express their emotion move on. They move on to greater things. So an idea powered by emotion is invincible. Yeah? So, should we apply the woman system in dumping consumerism? Let's have a trial run how it's done. So, sorry. Is it okay to have some water? Sorry. So I put the outline here and we'll go through it one by one. First is, now we're deciding with the, I know a lot of women, they say, yeah, I want to do something right, but I don't really know the impact of my decisions on things, there's a price tag, but how do I know how good it is? So what we really need to do, aside from just seeing the prices, we want to see the impact of our decision with humanity and with planet. So at the very worst here is, you have the guy from Mr. Simpson's, and over here is Gandhi. And at the bottom there's Earthpocalypse, and I call it Earthopia. I'm a marketing person. So here's Yoda, and this is Jabba the Hutt, and this is where we are. And in the middle is India. But now, I had fun doing this. But then again, we're talking to a lot of women. There's a broad scope. What language will we use? Because the language that I will use to a yogi will not be the same language that I will use to the fashionista. Will not be the same language I would be using with the hashtag girl boss. So what language would I use that will impassion us? What gives us passion? The thing is, what is common amongst all us is our fear of mortality, of death, of having died without our lives having mattered, having an impact. So the positive ones of us, and I think it's the whole, I could speak for the rest of the room, we want to have a good impact on Earth, on the people who will live behind. But when we're talking of people outside who are just, barely making it, they don't really care. They just want to survive, or they just want to, have a child and pass whatever he didn't accomplish to the child. So it's procreation. It's a primal instinct. Sex sells. So if you don't mind, for this presentation, I will be using the language of sex, not unless any one of you would object. Anyone who doesn't like sex here? Yeah, no one? Okay, so I can go on. So I will change the word impact to FQ. And FQ, what the FQ is your fuckworthiness quotient. So you take the quizzes that you normally do on Facebook or Cosmo for women, and you say, okay, what do you eat? Yeah, I eat laced potatoes, blah, 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 choose. There, blam, your FQ, your fuckworthiness is -17. You have the same fuckworthiness quotient as Jabba the Hutt. You will set humanity back 50 years. Please don't have kids. Yeah? And then, since I'm a marketer, I will fuel the fire. I will say, hey, do you know that by eating Lay's potato chips, you are actually promoting those? Do you know that by making that, there's a lot of Indian farmers, potato farmers, who committed suicide in India because they're being pushed so hard, and this is true. And there's a 65-year-old woman in India who had to walk 15 miles just to get water because Coca-Cola over there has suctioned off all the water. And then we go to the nerve. Let's share that shit, yeah. And also, you would say, okay, I want to after You might want to see this. This is the girl, finding the lingerie, and so she posted it on Facebook. But there's a copy of it later. So after you've expressed your anger, you would now think, okay, what can I do? I want to be able to fuck again. What do I do? So the next is negotiation. So I would challenge you, beauty challenge, travel challenge, you want to change your lifestyle. So I would challenge you, like, for example, for the lipstick challenge, 50 shades of Viva Glam. What the fuck? We don't need that. So what I would do is, you only actually need 2 shades of lipstick. And not to be crude or anything, it's the shade of your labial lips when they're calm and the shade when they're excited. Yeah? Which is true. So challenge accepted, pick or it didn't happen. So I challenge you, the wardrobe that you need, there are only 3 types of wardrobe. I call it the ninja wardrobe, the arch nemesis wardrobe, and the amore wardrobe. The ninja wardrobe is the wardrobe that you would use when you are about to commit a felony, crime. You disappear in a crowd. The arch nemesis is when you encounter your arch nemesis, where it could end up with a cat fight or a dance-off. Yeah. And the third challenge, the third amore, the amore outfit, would be the outfit that you use when you have to seduce the man of your life as if your humanity depended on it. So you have that. So Pinterest actually. So it will be going to be full of challenges and that. So, for example, you completed the challenges. Fine, you had fun. You shared it with social media. How could we make it stick? You know that to make it stick, for it to be a habit, you have to practice it 21 days. 21 grueling days, and that's a big mindset change. How do we fuel it? What emotion do we use? It's not going to be anger. Anger doesn't last for 21 days. So here, what I'm going to be doing as a marketer is I'm going to be drilling into the basis of instincts of a woman. And that instinct is the maternal instinct. So I will, after completing the challenge, I will give him a very cute baby who will call her mama. But she has to keep her alive for 21 days. Otherwise, the baby will die and she will be cruel, right? That's the worst insult you could do to a woman. Call her a slut, call her whore, whatever. But never call her bad mother. It's in our programming. So, for example, it's finished, yeah? Great. What do you do now? The individual has been transformed. But now we have to put them in communities. Yeah? We have to put all these women together who have changed their life and make a community out of it. This is what we'll do. Drinks on you. Your baby lived, but oh no, somebody's baby died. So that baby, the person who had that baby died, will have to buy you a drink in a nearby cafe. Because, we social media right now, we know whose baby lived and whose baby died. So it will give us closer together. People with a common goal, people who have changed. And now, after we're closer together, we can now all work with RBE Go. It's like Pokemon Go, but with a real purpose. So we could use it to assemble things. Okay, instead of the kids having a tour to the donut, how donuts are made, why don't we take them to the farmers or to the water recycling? Find about it. Let's have a project. Let's force restaurants to give free water. And airports to give free water, so we dispose of all these things. And let's take care of the homeless people. So it could work, but we have to power the idea with emotion. Emotions are so powerful. Now, caveat: how good intentions get hijacked. And I've seen this with the organic movement, and I'm seeing now again with the vegan movement. When things get hijacked, now when things get to be very simple, it becomes a symbol. It's so easy to turn it around its head. So me, I personally develop a manifesto for myself so that I could shield myself from bullshit. And I would like to share it with you here. My first manifesto is be truthful. Every one of us have a piece of truth within us. If we put them all together, we would see a more general view of truth. But we have to keep on doubting and keep learning. Truth is not binary. It's multidimensional. So be careful of reducing the truth to a symbol, a hashtag. Because if you've made it into a hashtag, for example, the organic movement, so everybody's saying, is it organic? Is it organic? That means organic is good and non-organic is bad. That's just not true. We have to be vigilant. We have to be vigilant of continue questioning our truths because it still could be improved. Second, be kind. That means you speak your truth, but you speak the language of others. Put yourself in their shoes first, their experiences, before you say that, it's bad. We are all at different levels of imperfection, and we respect the other's journey. This is what happens, for example, I've never smoked in my whole life, but I would see a smoker who just quit, and he will give the smoker hell. Like, how could you still smoke? I said, no, you couldn't do that. We just have to input a seed of doubt and let the person continue this journey. That's being kind. Third, be present. You have your end goal, but leave the moment. We can't be too ambitious. As Michael was saying, they got too ahead of their time. Just take it moment in time. The creature before you is your connection or your block to the future. So how you treat that person will determine how your future will be. I've always believed in that. And take only what you need now. Everything else is load. Yeah? So be free. Don't buy so much shoes. Fourth is be graceful. Grace, my definition of grace, is beauty of intention and execution. It's great. Grace is beauty in movement. Okay, now we've tapped into women going on maternal beast mode, and they can accomplish so much things. But we don't want that. We don't want our women to be on guard, to be always caring for the kids. Women, when they take, like the feminists, for example, they're always angry because they really are fighting on something. And we don't want our women like that. We want our women to be beautiful, with hair that smells nice. Yeah? So we have to acknowledge that it's okay for a woman to express her beauty. It's okay to be feminine. Can you imagine a world where there's no woman wearing red lipstick? Do you really want to live in that world? No. It's okay to be beautiful, but do not exaggerate. You only need 2 shades of lipstick. Yeah? So, am I concluding? So, this is my manifesto. So as we protect our good intentions, we always are vigilant, be truthful, be kind, be present, be gracious. I put here Queen Elizabeth. And are you grandma? So, we want an inclusive thing, not because monarchy or capitalism is the enemy. We wouldn't have gotten here without those, We are all at different levels of imperfection. Include them. We don't separate. Yeah? And we will get there. Finally, this is a girl squad. Everybody has a part in girl squad. If you're an enlightened capitalist, a natural scientist, a positive innovator, progress catalyst, graceful artist, we must speak the language. Finally, to end this, if you want to have a copy of, and you want to find out more about how to market a revolution, I would like to invite you to my Trello board. My name is Rowena, and this is also my Twitter account, because consumerism is cramping our style, and we won't stand for that. Thank you so much for your attention.